welcome back to this week's garden update. And if you're new to my channel, my name's Bren. I'm an avid home gardener living here in New South Wales, Australia, trying to create an environmentally friendly cottage garden. So each Friday, Sydney, Australia time, I upload a new video where I share with you what I've been up to from week to week. So having said all of that, let me go and show you around now. Now that we're into spring and the weather is warming up, there are edible crops that I planted back in autumn that are going to flower everywhere. There's this Tuscan kale, bok choy, and radishes. This orange tree never seems to take a break. Not only does it still have plenty of oranges on it that I need to harvest, but now it's covered in flower buds. Once all these open up, this tree will be buzzing with bees. And as soon as I open the back door, there's going to be a beautiful scent in the air. I'm feeling a little bit slack with the weeding underneath the tree. There's lots of grass that's made its way in here. But this bit of competition doesn't seem to be affecting these nasturtiums too much. These plants are great self-seeders. Even while just kneeling down here, I noticed there's a few little seedlings that have popped up. And like this one here will just fill in that gap. I'll prune off all of these leaves that are looking a little bit sickly, pull out the weeds and give it a fresh mulch. And this one here should fill out this space nicely. I must come and clean out that bird bath. It's looking pretty gross in there, and I must put some pebbles and stones in there for the birds and bees to rest on. One question that I get asked quite a lot is, because I have bird baths in the garden, do I get a lot of mosquitoes? And my answer to that is that once you change your water every few days, which you should do anyway, not like what I've done here, just left it. I'll do it straight after I make this video. I'll clean this up. You should always have the water nice and fresh for the wildlife, but also if you clean it, you're disrupting any eggs that mosquitoes lay in it. I think they hatch after about 2 to 3 days into the larvae or larval form. But if I just clear it out, well then I'm breaking that life cycle and hopefully reducing the amount of mosquitoes in here. Like, having said all of that, I still do get quite a lot of mosquitoes, but anything I can do to kind of reduce those numbers really helps. So pleased with how much growth this cardoon plant has put on. It must be in here at least 1.5 years, if not 2 years, and I still haven't had any flowers on it yet, but it's looking promising now because it's the largest it's ever been, and as long as I keep the water up to it, I'm hoping this year it's going to bloom. If you're thinking that it looks very similar to a globe artichoke, well, these two plants are actually related. They are both in the sunflower family. This Mediterranean plant is also called an artichoke thistle. With this plant you can eat the leaves and the stems. However, you don't eat their flower buds like the way you do with a globe artichoke. I think it's going to be a good year for this cardoon, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it growing now over the next few months. Out in the front garden there are so many flower buds. These are from an azalea plant. In fact, there's a couple of them here in this garden bed which are well established now. They were already here when we moved into the property. I have added other plants into this bed over the years, like lavender and salvias. It also has a lot of fresh green growth on it as well, like you can see, just here. This is the best I've seen it in quite some time, probably in a few years I would say. It seems to have really benefited from all of that rainwater that we've received over the last couple of months. And while I'm waiting on those azalea plants to be covered in a carpet of pink blooms, there are plenty more out here in the front garden that put a big smile on my face. Let's take a look at some of them. Dollhouse from an op shop or thrift store, and the minute I saw it, the first thing I thought of was that would make a wonderful bug hotel. You can see that it's made up of all these little rooms or sections that I'll be able to fill up with different materials, hopefully quite a lot of them being natural that I'm able to find in my garden or around this local area. I have already done an upcycled bug hotel using an old CD rack, but I'm excited to get going on this project. Hopefully I'll start it this week, but I'm not too sure if I'm going to have time because I'm still quite busy sowing seeds, potting them on, getting all of those plants out into the garden now that we're in early spring. Let me go and show you some of them now. Here's a few more that I've potted on. I actually can't remember if I've shown you these last week. So basically all I do is, with some of my seeds, I start them in these little pots, and then once they start to develop their true leaves, so these ones here are asters, California giant, I just divide them up and then put them into these individual cells. So I've got asters, this one here is copper straw flower, Mexican hat flowers, marigold lemon drop, globe amaranth, tall mix, the one I can never pronounce, the Verbena bonariensis, more straw flowers, tall mix. I did end up buying some basil just to give myself a bit of a head start. These were all in a pot around this size, and I've just divided them up, popped them into here. And if you live in New South Wales, Australia, or you're coming into springtime and you live in a similar climate to me, you still have plenty of time now over the next few weeks to start sowing your seeds, whether they be flowers, vegetables and fruit. Get them growing, pot them on like I am, you know, and then get them out in the garden, established to a decent size, so that when the weather really starts to warm up, they'll be well established and ready to handle the heat of summer. I'm in the back garden now, and you know, it's just such a lovely mild spring day, and if I look above I can see lots of dark clouds. We may even be lucky enough to get a bit of a downpour. I think I'll make the most of it actually and grab some of my bigger seedlings and pop them in the ground, and hopefully they'll get a bit of rainwater. Well, thanks so much for watching everyone. I hope you all have a good week, and I'll see you all again next Friday.